exciting package just came in the mail. I ordered 3 shades of the new Rephr Beauty Positive Light Silky Touch highlighters. So yeah, listen, I ordered this on the Sephora website. It was early access on the app, and it came in 2 days. I paid $5 for rush shipping, but I got it here now. It is available as of yesterday at Sephora, Kohl's, the Rephr Beauty website. I recommend right now, if you are interested in purchasing these, if you have not used your Get Gifting code, which is a one-time use coupon code for 20% off of Sephora, this is the best time to do it. I justified ordering 3 shades by saying, you know what, I'm going to use the Get Gifting code, and I got an additional 20% off of this purchase. So I was excited about that. The general consensus from you guys, I would say, was more so curiosity rather than actually wanting to buy it. So I'm the guinea pig. I picked them up because, I mean, highlighter launches aren't as exciting anymore, except for the Charlotte Tilbury. Yes, I'm very excited about that. But I think more so than anything, you guys were curious and intrigued because these look a little different than the average highlighter. They look quite intriguing. So today I'm going to share all the details and what I can with you. So let's get to it. I like Rephr Beauty's price point. I feel like they're on the mid-tier of the Sephora prices. These are $25 each, and they come in the 4 classic shades that the Rephr Beauty always comes in. And how they describe these, because it's very interesting, these do look quite different. It's an innovative powder highlighter that gives an instant glass-like sheen for an easy, natural-looking glow that lasts. It's supposed to give the glass-like glow of a liquid highlighter in an easy compact. So let's take a look at the box over here. It comes in the classic Rephr Beauty box. There's 2.8 grams of product in this. It has a 12-month shelf life and is made in Italy. Italy tends to create very nice powders and highlights, so I feel like I'm feeling good about this. Now let's take a closer look at the product. This is what the packaging is going to be like. It feels lightweight. It honestly doesn't feel the most expensive. It feels a little plasticky, but not like cheap plastic, but you know, also not luxury packaging by any means. And then here is what the back looks like with all of the details that you might need. But it is classic Rephr Beauty packaging. I feel like it's a little chunkier than it needs to be, but whatever, it's so cute. Are you ready for the reveal? It's a snap closure. I don't know if you can see that. I don't know why I just struggled to open that. It's not hard to open like a NARS package. It does have a nice mirror, and here is the highlighter. Now, the question for you guys was like, what is this? What does it feel like? A lot of you were saying it looks a lot like the Kaja highlighters. Unfortunately, I don't own the Kaja Bounce highlighter, so I can't compare that to you. But it kind of reminds me a little of Pat McGrath, and I'll see what I can pull in my collection to see what this feels like. But are you guys ready? This is the shade Exhilarate. I'm gonna touch it now. Okay, it feels more powdery than I thought. I thought it would feel like a bouncy, you know how they have those gel cream powder hybrid formulations that have a bounce to it. This one actually felt like a powder, and it looks really smooth. Wait, I think I might really like this. I'm not even kidding. Okay, let's swatch it. Okay, as I just dug in for another swatch, this is definitely a powder. It feels very, very smooth, but it doesn't feel wet or creamy. It has a nice slickness to it. It's kind of almost like a baked gelée, but not quite as slick as that because you do get more powder pickup. But I did see a little bit of, not fallout, but there's some powder particles in there. It's not completely baked. And here's Exhilarate. This looks very promising. It really does. Okay, let's look at the other colors. This one is the lightest one, Enlighten. Let me actually turn the lights down even more for you guys. So here is Enlighten, and this is the lightest one. It feels so good and smooth. Okay, let's see. Ooh, and that one I thought would have a golden shift to it. It doesn't really. Very pretty. Definitely great for fair girls. And I almost didn't get this shade. This is Mesmerize. It has a pinky tone to it. But I don't know. I feel like this would be pretty with blush. Very pretty. I find Mesmerize to be maybe a hint dark, but we'll see how this applies. But these are the swatches. So I say let's go for it and just get straight to applying. I pulled out a sponge if this turned out to be more of like a creamy bounce formulation to apply these, but these really are truly powder. So I'm gonna go ahead and use my Sigma F03 brush to apply these. I am going to be wiping them on a towel in between, but I wanna start off with the darkest shade to see how this does. Doesn't it just look so pretty and pearly here? Okay, it's on the brush. See, we get a little bit of kickback. I don't have any highlighter on, but I was a little like sweaty, so I guess that's what the glow is. And I do have powder on, so there is powder underneath. If you did not like the liquid highlight formula from Rare Beauty, not that it's bad, but I feel like it was too natural, there wasn't enough of a glow, I think you will like this. This is not natural like the Rare liquids. This is a good formulation. Ugh, I really like this. So much better. And this is Mesmerize. I was worried this would be too dark, but honestly, this is the perfect shade to kind of blend into my skin. But when you turn, you have quite the glow here. Oh, I like this. It's a more of a whiter shift than I thought. Like when the light hits it, it's a beaming highlight, which I feel like isn't as popular nowadays, but this looks really nice and it's very finely milled. It doesn't unflatter any bumps or texture that you might have. The nature of highlights is that it will kind of bring out those bumps, but I don't know if you can see I have a little bit of what looks like milia right here, and while they're still there, it doesn't make them disappear. It's a highlight. I feel like it doesn't emphasize them too much. It doesn't make it look like popping out of my face, so I think it sits on the skin very pretty. Let me try the next shade. This is Exhilarate, so this is the second darkest shade. This one has more of a gold turn to it. And this one is like a little bit lighter than what I would prefer for myself. I really like the Mesmerize shade on my skin tone. And it's funny because the Mesmerize shade in the liquid is too dark on me. And this again has a really white shift to it. But there's no dark cast or anything. A little bit more champagne and wearable, but a bit brighter than Mesmerize. It's also very pretty. Also looks pretty smooth on the skin. Ooh, I like these. Okay, and then the last shade that we're gonna try is Enlighten, which is this pearly white shade. It's gonna be very bright on me. I'm just gonna pop it like right here, in the inner corners of the eye. Yeah, my fair girls, you're gonna love this. This is gonna work out way better for you than it is me. It's a little bit whiter than I prefer on me, so I won't get much use for this on the face. Definitely good for those white highlight points that I'll share with you. But if you're a light medium skin tone, I would not recommend Enlighten. It's a bit too white. But fair girls, I think you're gonna enjoy this. So what I'm really liking about this is how it blends into the skin as well. There's some highlights that are just so stark where you can see where the foundation, the blush, the bronzer, and then you can see very clearly where the highlight starts. With this formula, it's easy to blend out the edges so that it really looks like it's coming from within. You don't know where that start and end point is with the highlight, maybe with the white on me, but that's because it's too bright on me. And I bet you, even though there is a gleam to it, if you just literally tap your brush in and blend it out, because it blends out so well, it's not going to stick to your face, you can get more of a natural effect. I'm going back in with Enlighten. I'm using a pencil brush, and I'm just going to use that to brighten my eye look. I do have an eye crayon on right now, but I'm just gonna put the highlight right over that. I look like a disco ball now, ignore that. Let's see how Exhilarate looks on the eyelid. I do have that crayon underneath, but this is more glowy than the crayon. This is pretty all over the lid too. No fallout, looks pretty smooth. My gosh, I don't get as excited by highlighters nowadays because I have so many, and honestly, I find myself doing my makeup and sometimes I don't even apply highlighter. It's just a product that's not as popular anymore. But this is a straight up really nice formula. I think they did a good job with this. I was not expecting to be so excited about these. This would have to be a kick butt formula for me to be excited because I'm just not excited by highlighters anymore. This is definitely above average for highlights. And I'm gonna continue to wear it to see how often I wear it, but it's a really, really good formula. I'm gonna dig through my highlighter collection to see what I can pull that's similar, just to give you some more comparisons if you're still kind of on the fence about these. I just went ahead and dug through my highlighter collection. I was like dousing my whole body in highlight, feeling everything, trying to find one that I could get a similar feel to. I thought these looked exactly like the Pat McGrath Sublime Skin highlighters. Here's a trio that I have. Just for reference, right? These look very similar. Let me touch. I didn't touch this one, but I just knew they look similar. They feel quite similar, but I would say the Rephr Beauty has a more slick touch to it, whereas this one has a bit more drag to it. So they feel different. I kind of like the feel of this guy better from Rephr Beauty because it feels so lightweight. It's crazy. And I thought the feel was very similar to the Milk Makeup Flex highlighters in how smooth and thin they feel. I would say these are probably the two closest feeling in formula. So let me show you. On my pointer finger, I'm putting the Milk Makeup, and then on my middle finger, they feel very, very close to each other formula-wise, and obviously they're different colors. I feel like the Rephr Beauty picks up more base color, so it's a little bit more opaque, but a very similar texture. These two are definitely the closest formulation that I have in my collection. Also have a similar slickness as the Dior. The Dior also has a hint more drag, but they are definitely a similar formulation in terms of how lightweight and smooth they feel, but the Dior does feel like a hint heavier. And then I also was touching up the Hourglass highlights, which the Hourglass is a little bit more powdery, I would say. You get a little bit more thickness from it because it's more powdery. The majority of highlighters that I felt had more dryness to them compared to the Rephr Beauty. So I would say this is a pretty top-notch formula. I love the way it feels. I think a little will go a long way with this product, especially if you're looking for a really lightweight, versatile highlighter, because I think you can build this up to get a beam. You can also use very little to get a more natural glow. The last thing that I wanted to do so you could see the difference in formulations, I have the Mesmerize highlighter and the Mesmerize liquid highlighter. I'm gonna put the powder highlight on the top of my hand. And let's see what the Mesmerize liquid highlighter looks underneath it. Are you ready? So that's the difference. You can see the powder highlight is a little brighter, and that's why I like it. And I feel like when you blend out the liquid highlight, it loses the beam, whereas the powder highlight definitely has more beam. I mean, there we have it. I look like a disco ball. I know this was a quick review, but there's only so much I can talk about when it comes to highlight. I hope I answered your questions. If you have any more questions, don't be afraid to ask down below. But overall, I'm very happy with these highlights. This is a really solid formula. It's not just an average highlight formula where I could go, oh, it's pretty, it's fine, it's nice, and move on with my day. I can see myself talking about this in future videos because I think, you know, it was ballsy to come out with a highlight in 2022. It had to be really good to make a name for itself, and I think they did that. It's a little early, but I think they did that. The only thing that could make this fail at this point is if the gleam disappears and wear time is bad. If that's the case, I'll comment down below for you guys and let you know, but that's all I have for the review. It's a really good highlight. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video and found it helpful. Like I stated, if you haven't liked my channel and subscribed, make sure you do that because we are in the middle of Vlogmas, so I will have a new video tomorrow, and I'll catch you guys tomorrow. Bye guys, have a good one.